I'm about to reach 12,000 kilometers on this bike. I started in Vancouver and I'm on my way to Patagonia. And I've been wanting to make this video of everything I bring for a year, for a 23,000 kilometer trip since I started. But I'm always scared that I'll say something that is wrong. I still feel like a newbie, even though I've been on this bike for 7 months. I feel like there's so many things I don't know. My setup is by no means perfect. So every time I would want to make this video, I would just say, I'm sure there's better information out there. But this morning I was thinking about it, and I thought, when I was doing my own research for this, when I was preparing my bike trip, I didn't want someone to share their perfect setup, because I don't even think that exists. I just wanted people to share their honest experience and tell me what they bring, what works for them. And I would just make my mix and match with all the information that I compiled. So that's kind of what I want to do with this video. I'm going to share what works for me. By no means this is perfect, but if it just helps one person to get out there, my job will be done. When I was getting ready for this, I thought that I would never be ready. And the truth is, you never really are ready. You just learn as you go. So this is what has been working for me for the last 7 months. I hope you can find some inspiration. Another reason why I never ended up making this video is because I thought it would be way too long and way too boring. So what I've decided is to kind of split the video in two. First, I'll just share screenshots with the names of everything I bring. You can still get all the gear list with that, but there's gonna be no explanation behind it. So if you are coming here just for the gear list, you can use that. I've also worked really hard to create a gear list. You can find it in the description. And not only can you find all the gear that I use and the links and the names separated into categories and everything, I've also included websites that I use to plan, all the apps I use, some travelers that have inspired my journey, and other resources that you can find online. You can find that in the description, and you can also use the screenshots that I share now if you don't want a full in-depth explanation of everything in the bike. If you're ready, let's start. So in this pannier, I keep my drone, my clothes, and some other things. So we have the drone and my clothes separated by winter or summer stuff. So this is summer, this is what I've been using lately. And this is, I'll get into what's inside each one of them later. Then I also have a cap for the summer. I don't really use it much. In Colombia, it's been raining a lot, so I'm not really using my solar panel, so I've been keeping it there. And then I have my first aid kit and 2 inner tubes that I keep in case I have to change them. In the same department, I also keep here just spare parts, repair kits. This will also be in the list. For example, this is an emergency blanket, and we've got, I don't know how to say this in English. I also keep some straps that are very useful. And that would be it for the first one. Let's go into the dry bag. This is where I keep my camping stuff. And as you can see, I keep it in place using this. In Spanish it's called pulpo. I don't know how you call it in English. Sorry. Also, this little seat bag is where I keep the repair kit as well as the chain loop. So this is the tent, Nature Hike Cloud Up 2, a 2-person tent because I like my space. I also keep my high visibility vest, very important. I either wear it on me or in the back of the bike so that I'm more visible when riding. Poles and my sleeping mat. Rest Neo Air X Lite, I think. I bought it secondhand on Facebook Marketplace in Costa Rica because the previous one was losing way too much air. This is 4 seasons, which is great because I'm going colder and colder season soon. So there you go. I love it, but it is true that you never know with this kind of mattresses how long they will last until you puncture them. And finally, the last back pannier. This is also where I keep my Crocs. This is how I differentiate which one goes on which side. And the Crocs are also in that side because when I push the bike, I push from here. So it's important that the Crocs are not bothering when I'm pushing the bike. So, Crocs. And in this one, I keep more of camping stuff as well. So, my toiletries, my cooking set. This is what I use to cook. Cutlery and everything is inside. This is a water bag, like a camel bag kind of thing. I haven't been using it much because I have enough water, but I had a bit of a scare when I was in Baja California. So I just want to make sure I always have enough water with me. If I end up not using it at all, I'll maybe give it to someone, but for the moment, it's still with me. A gas canister. These are hard to find, so whenever I find an outdoor store or a hostel, I always try to make sure I have a full one with me. So I'm kind of running out of gas now. So yeah, I need to do something about it. But I'm honestly not finding it as hard as I thought to find one. And also here in Central and South America, I eat out a lot because almuerzos and cenas and like eating out is super cheap. You just get a menu for 2-3 euros. So in the end, it's kind of like even cheaper than cooking. So I haven't been using my gas a lot. This is my sleeping bag. I know, it's huge. It's quite old and also vegan. So yeah, at least back then when I bought it, the technology of vegan sleeping bags wasn't really out there for the price that I was willing to pay. I'll share the brand and everything as well, but yeah, it's still quite huge. It does take a lot of space, but I love it. I honestly love it and it works very well and it keeps you warm up to -6 degrees, I think. I also keep a lock. I lost my good one. This is not great, but at least it gives people the impression that it's locked. I never leave my bike out of my sight. So it's just kind of to make sure that people just won't see a bike standing there with nothing on it. I also have a mini cutting board. I haven't used it as much as I thought I would, but it's still quite lightweight. Still haven't gotten rid of it. Maybe I will, I don't know. Let's get into the frame back. This, when I got the bicycle secondhand, this was already built in. It's handmade and it was made by the previous owner. So, I don't know, it just makes it very special and I love how the green, the gray, and the pink go together. Here I keep things that I'm gonna use as writing. So for example, my power bank, I put it here so that it's close to my phone and I can charge as I ride. A rain cover for my phone. This is kind of like a Tupperware, so whenever I cook more than I need, I just put it here and it's my meal for the night. Mosquito repellent. My little kit with a chain breaker. Dishwashing gloves. I haven't used these yet, but someone recommended that when it rains too much, we can use them for your hands not to get too wet. Haven't done it yet, but we'll see. My pump. Some plastic bags that I use whenever it's raining to cover my shoes. This brush that I use whenever there's way too much mud on the wheels or to clean the chain as well, quite useful. I also have another water bottle here and I just keep food here. I don't have much with me right now, but some lentils, oats, pasta, and beans. And it's the same on the other side. Let's go with the front one. This is also where I keep things that I use quite often. We've got coffee, GoPro, some electrolytes and supplements. Neck warmers, so I have a fleece one and a normal one. A cup for coffee. So this is supposed to be like a toiletry bag from Decathlon, but for me, it's where I keep all my cables. So they're kind of arranged. Helps me keep them organized. It's quite useful and very cheap as well. A day bag from Decathlon. My second phone, which as you can see is really for emergencies. It's very much broken, but it still works, and in case something happens to the first one, I know I have another one. My documents, copies of my passport, and also things that people have given me. So Martin gave me this bracelet, Irene gave me these quitapesares, Polaroid that someone took of me, other bracelets from my sister and my best friend, and things that you get when you cross borders, because you never know. Some photos, a mask. The front light, which works really, really well. I don't always keep it there, just when I ride at night, which is almost never. That's something that I'm very, very strict with. I don't write at night. Pencils and pens, fire starters, plug adapter that works for different kind of plugs. It also has 4 USB port entries so that whenever I go to a cafe or something, I can just plug everything in. My journal, which is very much broken, but I don't know, I still love it and I don't want to let it go. Like my drawings, every time I cross into a country, I just love drawing the map and kind of getting an idea. That's how my brain gets an idea of like what's coming. A book. Every time I go to a hostel, I try to swap book I just read for a new one. Sometimes they're broken, like this one. I know I should maybe just get on with the times and have an e-reader, but I don't know, I just love this experience of just reading whatever is out there. That's also interesting. I have an app on my phone to read, and I use hostel books. With the headlamp, I think, which is from Decathlon, I think we're done with the front bag. Let me show you how the bike looks now. This already came with the bike. It's quite sturdy and, from what I know, quite trusted by cyclists. This was handmade by my mom. It's super useful, and I also keep my phone here or other things. This was handmade by the previous owner. This is from Decathlon. It's not amazing. Sometimes I see that it records less kilometers than my Komoot, but it is what it is. It's cheap. And this is the quad lock phone holder. It's amazing. I love how it works. It's very useful. And there you go. As if this video wasn't making me cringe enough, let's now watch a video of me making a fool of myself as I show you how I use the clothes I have to build my layering system. So we start with my pajamas. Now onto my most summery fit. These 2 t-shirts allow me to stay cool and protected from the sun. Moving on to the fleece, a crucial layer for added warmth in chilly conditions. It's lightweight and retains heat without sacrificing mobility. Next up, the puffy jacket, compact and insulating, perfect for cold nights. Base layers are crucial when it starts getting seriously cold, so leggings and a good thermal t-shirt can save the day. Adding a beanie to the mix for head warmth, and don't forget about the winter bands, providing an extra layer of insulation to the legs when the temperature drops. And of course, no cycling adventure is complete without the versatile rain shell. This waterproof layer shields me from unexpected downpours, ensuring I stay dry and comfortable no matter the weather. Something I get asked a lot is which kickstand do I use? Or how is the bike standing up on its own, like this, or this? Well, the answer is a trekking pole. It's super lightweight, packable, and when you place it like so, it keeps your bike standing up. So for the second extra tip, I always keep this strip of Velcro in my handlebar. I use it to hold on to the brake, so whenever I leave my bike for a second, even though I always want to have it in my side, I make sure that if anyone wants to quickly grab it, it's not going to be that easy. Of course, they can still take it, but they're going to be stunned by the fact that the wheel is not working. Finally, you're probably all familiar with them, but AirTags can be your best friend. I personally have 4 of them in different spots so that I always know where everything is. So, as I promised at the beginning of the video, here are all the screenshots of everything I have on the bike. I hope you found this video super useful. Remember that you have a full gear list in the description of the video. I hope you're not cringing as hard as I am as I'm making this video. I promise I'll never watch it again. And yeah, that's it. I hope it helps someone. Get out there, have fun, and enjoy. Thank you for watching and see you soon.